If you're looking for a fun arcadic wrestling style video game, then AEW Fight Forever might be for you. In today's video, we're going to do an in-depth review of what this game has to offer and whether or not you should actually shell out the money to buy this game. And if you guys want more content like this, go ahead and click subscribe. When you launch AEW Fight Forever for the very first time, you're going to be met with this beautiful home screen. It does feel a bit nostalgic because it looks like it's a modern spin on WWF No Mercy, but the UI is so incredibly easy to understand and navigate through, it just makes the overall experience so much better. You'll notice right off the bat with AEW Fight Forever that the match types at launch are extremely limited. In the Exhibition 1-on-1, you have the ability to select between normal, lights out, and falls count anywhere. The game also includes a standard 2-on-2 tag team match, as well as a 3-way and 4-way match. AEW Fight Forever also includes the famous Casino Battle Royale match, where you could actually play up to 4 players in co-op. You could play solo or select a deck of cards and even program the characters that you want to play with, so in case you get eliminated, you can always play as somebody else. AEW Fight Forever also includes the exploding barbed wire Deathmatch. A very fun match type, but it does come with its limitations, and we'll speak on that in just a little bit. And of course, AEW Fight Forever also includes a standard 1-on-1 ladder match, as well as mini games and a training mode. So if you're new to the game, and you want to get acclimated to all of the different characters' abilities, movesets, and of course the video game controls, then I definitely suggest you play this mode immediately. This way you could be an expert in no time. AEW Fight Forever also includes competitive online multiplayer. You have the ability to play online ranked matches, which include all of the standard match types as we discussed earlier. You could also play casual matches as well as private matches with your friends. Now on Steam, you have the ability to link your Steam account to Epic Games, and then you can actually log into parties with your friends and play that way. Now keep in mind with AEW Fight Forever, it is not cross-platform, so if you're somebody who has the game on a Switch or Xbox or PlayStation, you're not going to be able to play with anybody who has a different console than you, but you could play cross-platform, meaning if you're playing on Xbox One, you could play with people who have Xbox Series S or Series X, and the same applies to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. AEW Fight Forever also includes a custom suite where you can create and edit wrestlers, tag teams, and arenas. However, it definitely has its shortcomings, and we'll discuss that in just a little bit. Don't forget, AEW Fight Forever also includes Road to Elite, where it's their story-based game mode. So many different options, so many different choices, so many different outcomes. This could be the real money maker. And of course, AEW Fight Forever gives you the ability to unlock challenges, and this is how you could actually unlock in-game currency. You have daily challenges, weekly challenges, normal challenges, and even secret challenges. And as you unlock them, you're going to be getting more money, which actually allows you to go to the shop. You could buy apparel, arena, moves, entrance, and different items along the way. As you can see, I already purchased Cody Rhodes and Aubrey Edwards, and I feel like this could be a really good thing for AEW as future updates come along. The Fight Forever user interface continues to impress. The match selection screen is actually very simple and basic, yet still effective. In this case, you can check out teams, champions, men, women, and of course, custom characters. In this case, we're going to go ahead and select Kenny Omega. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we're going to put the TNT Championship on the line. Now, in this case, Kenny Omega currently has a preset attire that I was actually able to modify through the creative suite. And in this case, we're going to use the white attire. I'm not going to turn on a manager, but they do give you the ability to do so. Now, in this case, we're going to go on against Jon Moxley, and this is where things become very fun. The gameplay. You have the ability to change the arena right from the match selection. In this case, the game does come with a few arenas. You got Dynamite, Dark, Full Gear, All Out, Revolution, Double or Nothing, or AEW Rampage. And in this case, we're actually going to do a custom arena. This is the one that I made using the creative suite. Now keep in mind, this game type does have DQs, rope breaks, and count outs on. Let's see how all of this goes.
The following contest is set for one fall, and it is for the TNT Championship.
Man, this should be one hell of a singles match.
One of my favorite additions to this game is something completely different. The ability to control the pyro and camera angles of your entrance. Yes, it's true that entrances are shorter in Fight Forever, but this is actually something I prefer, as most of the time I skip entrances in other wrestling video games. One thing that I immediately noticed is that this game feels familiar, yet different. And I think that's one of the biggest advantages of AEW Fight Forever to differ itself from the competition. You'll notice right away after Kenny Omega goes off the top rope, Jon Moxley was able to do anti-air defense. This ability isn't available to every wrestler in the game. And I think that's a huge bonus when playing AEW Fight Forever. Each character truly does feel different from each other, and that definitely has its advantages, especially when playing with other people. I love that AEW Fight Forever includes a modern version of the Spirit Bar. It definitely keeps up with the trend of touching on nostalgia while making things modern, yet it really seems to complement the game very nicely. As you gain more momentum, you have the ability to unlock your signature. If you lose momentum, you're going to lose your signature. But once you get your signature, all you have to do is a taunt, and then you have the ability to use your special maneuver. But be careful, because if you don't use it in time or you lose momentum, you can lose access to your finisher. Remember when I told you that the barbed wire deathmatch had its limitations? Well, this is a perfect example as to how. In this match type, you're not able to actually find weapons under the ring or even through the crowd, which, by the way, that is actually something you could do in other match types, which is really cool and unique. However, in this match type, you're confined to the square circle, and every time you interact with the environment, the animations are relatively the same. This actually became somewhat of an annoyance because I've played this match type several times, and it doesn't really feel like I'm getting different outcomes. However, it's a really cool addition, it just needs more to build upon. It wouldn't be a fun arcadic wrestling video game if you didn't have weapons, and in AEW Fight Forever there is definitely no shortage of them. To retrieve a weapon from the crowd, go ahead and click the right trigger, or when facing the middle of the ring apron, click right trigger and a new weapon will be generated. This game is all about interacting with the environment, so when you're using a weapon or slamming somebody on a weapon, you're definitely doing damage. The core gameplay is very reminiscent of some old school wrestling video games, with a modern touch. And because of that, I think the gameplay experience is actually a lot better than I could have ever expected. Sure, there might be a couple bugs and glitches here and there, but these could easily be patched with future updates. Because my personal experience playing this game has been so incredibly fun and positive, I just have to stress the importance of new match types. This game allows you to interact with the environment and weapons in so many different ways, and the characters all feel unique and fun to play with. I definitely played a lot of games with different characters, and I already have a few of my favorites. And because the gameplay at its core is just so fun, I imagine it would even be a funner game if you incorporated match types like I Quit, Special Guest Referee, Casket Match, and of course, you can't forget about the good old-fashioned cage match. These types of match types are definitely going to be needed long-term for this game. And hey, THQ, if you're listening, why not give us blood and guts? At launch, I definitely feel AEW Fight Forever delivers a fun experience for those who are looking to play games with their friends, online, or on the sofa via co-op mode. But now we gotta take a look at some of the things I don't seem to like. If there's one thing that AEW Fight Forever is missing the mark on, it's their creative suite. You can create a new male wrestler or female wrestler and even modify current wrestlers by giving them preset attires. You could even edit tag teams or create new tag teams, and yes, you can do the same with arenas. But there's no creative championship in this mode, and AEW Fight Forever doesn't have community creations. The reason why that doesn't matter though is because the game is definitely missing out on some functionality in this mode, and we're gonna take a look at how. Fight Forever does a really good job of maintaining an easy to navigate experience with the UI. This is something I'm gonna keep talking about for a long time just because it's so easy and so fluid and smooth. But the real issue with the creative suite is what's actually available to you. And again, this could all be changed with future updates, so it's not something to definitely be disappointed with, but at launch, I would have expected more. Now, when you go to the profile, you have the ability to change the name, display name, announce name, social media handle, crowd reaction, birth date, hometown. They even give you this little tidbit where you can choose your weapon of choice, which is really awesome because when you're playing lights out matches or whatever it may be, yeah, the likelihood of you getting this weapon is going to be pretty significant. And again, there's just so many different weapons in this game, which is so cool. The fact that there's even a football or, you know, thumbtack shoes or a football helmet, there's just so much that you can do. I think it's really cool to make each wrestler unique. And one little tidbit that I absolutely love, the amount of announced names in this game is absolutely insane. The list is absolutely incredible. So many names from ROH, New Japan, and even other wrestling companies are in here.
Ambrose.
And that's just a really cool little feature when it comes to making superstars that don't actually exist in AEW. However, the real issue or the real concern here is just simply what's available to you. You don't have that many face types. You don't have that many eyebrow types. You don't have that many hair types. I mean, the reality is there is just a lot missing from this game. And that is something I feel could definitely be improved on with future updates. But at launch, it definitely left me disappointed. The fact that this is the only beard type is just very frustrating. And I feel like for a wrestling game, customization is just incredibly important. Now, of course, you do have the ability to customize your ring attire, entrance attire, street clothes, moveset, and entrance scene, which is really cool. But again, there's just a lot of things missing. With headwear, you do get a couple more options. And then, of course, anything that you see, you can buy if you don't have it currently unlocked. So I imagine that is something that AEW Fight Forever could include in future updates, right? More items in the shop, which in turn allows you to use them for your customization. Really cool to see pro wrestling tees also included. You'll see some of their shirts on there. You have, left arm, right arm, standard stuff. But again, it just kind of goes back to what's actually available. So if you go to entrance attire, same thing, but you can only add a shirt or a jacket. So you can't add any headwear or anything like that. And there's definitely some cool items in the game, right? Like, it's not a lack of cool items. It's just they don't have that many items. They do give you the option to do street clothes, which is actually really cool because if you play AEW Road to Elite, that is a really unique feature. You can customize your guy in the street clothes. And again, it's just some of the same options, more pro wrestling tees gear. And that's like really cool. Obviously, I really love the presets that you can do for the moveset. So one thing about this game is when you're playing on the custom characters, there are tons of moves in this game. Now, I'm not going to go through them all one by one, but typical stuff: signatures, finishers, taunts, desperation, impulse, which is a skill-based thing. You have standing strikes, standing grapples, running attacks, advanced settings. I mean, there's just so many that you can do based on the environment, multi-person. Absolutely love all the options that they give you in terms of moves. I even love what they did with the entrances, right? So you actually have the ability to create entrances in this game. And I'm going to show you something that's actually really unique in this specific mode. Because when you're creating entrances, you want the ability to do a full preview while also getting like a full idea of what your guy looks like. So you can actually alter between the entrance scene, do the preview, and then go back. And then when you go back, you have the ability, this is not taking you to some whole different mode or anything like that. Again, it's all about navigation and making it easy. So you can just go back and change your attire really quick and then go back and change your entrance for when you're trying to preview it. But overall, it is slightly disappointing that this game just doesn't have so much to offer for you to make realistic characters that might not exist in AEW. But again, it's something that could be fixed with a patch, and that is something I definitely hope that they do. And for the love of God, please give us Create a Championship, please, because I just feel like with the way title belts look in this game, Create a Championship would be absolutely insane. Now, I purposely left off Road to Elite coverage in this video, mainly because I don't want to have any spoilers for those who are looking forward to playing the mode. However, if you guys are interested in watching that, I will actually be doing a live stream on my second channel, More Ango, so make sure you guys should check out the link in the description to see when I go live. Now, I'm not a game reviewer by any means, but I definitely have my fair share of playing wrestling video games growing up and obviously creating content on YouTube. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this game a 7.5, and I want to be perfectly clear. The only reason why it's not a perfect 10 is because there are some things that are missing where I feel like it's important to have. The lack of creative suite features, the fact that you can't create cause and upload them to a server where you can share amongst other creators, and of course, the lack of match types. Those are all things that I feel like would be necessary for me to give this game a 9 or a 10. But overall, this is the most fun I've had playing a wrestling video game in years, and that's actually saying a lot considering the very good competition. Now, I just want to be very clear, I wasn't paid for these opinions. I wasn't compensated in any other way. However, AEW Games did provide an early copy for me to be able to play the game early, but I'm not being paid for any opinion or anything like that. This is just strictly my feedback, and obviously this couldn't be done without their help, so I do appreciate them for sending an early copy for review. But with that being said, my friends, this is AEW Fight Forever. Gets a big thumbs up from me. If anything changes with future updates, I'll be happy to revisit this video and give you guys an updated opinion on it. But as of right now, if you guys are interested for a fun wrestling video game that's arcadic style, that's an actual alternative to what's out there, then this game could be for you.